Hey guys, welcome back. So I thought I would do a double-decker flower today. And I'm using just purple mixed with white, and then full white here. So let me get this thin enough, and we can put it right through our pasta machine and make a really pretty Skinner blend. And all we're doing is making a bullseye cane today. And that's going to be how we make our flower. So we took an unexpected trip. We ended up going to the beach, and we were only going from, I think we left on Tuesday morning, and we were only going to stay there till Friday, but we loved it so much we decided to stay 2 more days. So we just got back on Wednesday, and yesterday was basically just unloading the trailer and trying to get back to life. So I'm finally in here creating today. It was so cold over there. We left at about 108 degrees here. By the time we hit the beach, it was about 68. And we never saw the sun again. You'd never go to the beach in Southern California or in Central California in summer because of the heat inland causes so much fog on the beach. So it was cloudy, but we got to see a bunch of whales. Just by sitting on the beach, and collected seashells. The dogs played in the water, and I don't know if anybody has been down the California coast, but it's so much different than all the other beaches. I mean, you have like Texas and all the way down there, all the way down to Florida. You've got beautiful beaches, but it's all flat. The difference between the California coast is the water follows mountains. I mean, the most beautiful, gorgeous, tall mountains, and it's just, the scenery is just completely different. And then going through Central Coast, you know, you're going through wine country and all kinds of farmlands, from pistachios to oranges and fruits. And then you hit the wine country, and you've got all the grape fields and strawberry fields, and it's just a really scenic drive. So we had a good time, and we are ready to go back already. We're back in the heat. But summer is almost over, so I'm not going to complain. Alright, so we're just going to run this through a 2. I really don't need to go any bigger. Okay, so there is our Skinner blend. The dark purple. And I haven't decided whether I want to just make this a flower and use that background to cover it, or if I really want to go put translucent in between the petals. When you reduce the flower, it's just hard to keep that shape without the translucent in the center of it all. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet, but okay. We'll figure that out before we reduce this at all. Okay, so now we have like this little bullseye cane. And I'm going to condense it and get all the air bubbles out of it. My husband decided to take another week off of work, so this will be his 3rd week. So he went to take his trailer to the job site, which used to be 4 hours away. He just started a job now in Palm Springs, so he's only 2 hours away. So I figured, well, before he gets home, I better get in here and make a video. Because once they're home, man, they just like to come in and talk all the time. Okay, so this is what we got. Now, I like to condense it because it's easier for me to cut through a smaller piece than a real long one. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a couple marks up here. I'm going to go across the side just so I'm making the same marks on the other side, because I'm really bad at keeping straight. Yes, I came back congested, but I'll tell you what, if you ever check like your pulse, not your pulse, your O2 stats, so much higher when you're down at the beach. I don't know if it's the elevation or just that beautiful, cool, crisp air, but I just like it so much better. Okay, so this is what we got. What we're going to do is we're going to put like a little hole in here. This is going to be our bottom half. And I just need like a knitting needle here. Okay, we're going to make a nice big block of green here. So let me condition the green and I'll come right back. Okay, so we decided to use bright green. You can use any color in the center. You can use a pink, black, green, any color that you want in here. And all you're going to do basically is put it right in the middle here. So I ended up using this because it was just a little wider. Okay, and I'm just trying to form it like that. And then that's the size that I want my green to be. So I need to make this a little bigger. Okay, that will probably work. Okay, so I just want to make sure my sides are even. Okay, I'm going to stick that in there. Okay, you're going to want to form this, but I don't want the purple to touch the purple. I want that green to be open like that. Might add just a little more green on top to keep that from spreading in. So we'll just put a couple strips right there. So what are we at? A little over 1.5. That was silly. Not sure how much I'm gonna need. And just to make sure, I'm gonna go a little higher like that. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so now we have the inside of our flower. So we're just gonna shape that a little bit. Make it a little easier on us. And now we're gonna form this one to fit over that. So again, we're going to stick our little stick in here. And this is just a burnisher tool. So I even ventured to a couple bead shops out there. We went to a place called Pismo Beach. That's where we camped. And then we went to Morro Bay, which is beautiful. Unfortunately, it was foggy and cold, but it was still really nice. I found a couple cool bead shops, so I picked up a few kind of unique stones and findings, which I'm always looking for. Okay, so now we're just going to smooth this down. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me grab the door. Okay, sorry about that. There's always somebody at the door. So I'm just going to burnish this in a little bit, just so it's all nice, like in one piece. Doesn't have to be neat or anything. Okay. And now we're going to cover this with a darker purple. So again, I'm going to pause. I'm going to put a little bit of black in here. And we'll wrap this and then we'll start to form the flower. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and we made kind of like an eggplant to go on top here. So we're just going to line that up right there. And we may end up having to put a little bit of green back in the center, just to keep this from going in there. And of course, I thought I cut this perfectly and I didn't. Got a little bit on the corner that I need to do. Hopefully this turns out the way I saw it in my mind. Okay, I'm going to add just a little strip, 'cause I'd rather be safe than sorry. Okay, so now we're going to reduce this to about we're about 2 inches. I'm going to go about 3 or 4. So we're just going to now squish all of this into a petal. And this is all Premo, Sculpey Premo. So as you can see, it's a little softer than the Hobby Lobby that I was using. Both have their advantages and disadvantages. So where are we at? We're about almost at 3 inches. A little bit longer. Okay. Okay. So there's our inside. What we're going to do is we're going to put both of those together. So it's kind of a double-decker flower petal and a double-decker on the side. Okay. So that's going to be our flower petal. Okay, so now I'm going to reduce this. So I got 6 slices out of this, so we'll probably go about 9 inches. So let me go ahead and reduce this and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have about 9 inches here. Some are a little bigger than the other. And boy, there's a lot of cutting on this one. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to reduce this a little more. So I'm just gonna grab from the center and just kind of pull it. You can tell exactly where This one's just a bit taller. Alright. So that side looks good. Albeit a little long. Alright, let's try cutting that about right there. Okay, so there is our petals. So now as we get to that final 9 inches, I'm just going to squish that bottom, make them more into a point. Without pushing down, because I don't want to make the bottom squarish. I want to keep it round. Okay. We're going to cut these at about 1.5, which is what I'm mostly comfortable. Okay, so that's our petals. Now on this, you know, not all flowers have to be covered in boy, I just lost my mind there, in translucent. If you wanted to, you could basically just put all this together and then reduce it just like that. And to keep the petals separate, as you reduce, you would just come in and slice with your blade every now and then. But I like the translucent. I just like the way it separates everything. So we're just going to make this a little skinnier because we're not going to have a center. This is going to be our center right here. And if you want this to blend more, you know, you don't have to put a dark purple or a dark color around it. I do it just to get a little definition. So I'm kind of squishing them as I go, because I don't want to put a centerpiece in there. I will if I have to. I was trying to make this without adding a centerpiece to it. So at this point, you can do whatever you want with it. See, that's all I wanted to do. Okay, so there's your flower like that. So again, you can leave it like that and reduce it and just keep coming in. Or you can start putting your just a tiny bit of translucent in the sides. You don't need a whole lot of this. And this is hard, so let me go ahead and reduce this and condition it, and I'll come back and we'll fill those up. Okay, so we are back, and this is what we got so far. We put a little bit of translucent, as you can see, around each petal. This one's a little light, so I'm just going to throw a little bit more. And then there's another thing that you can do that I just thought of as I'm looking at this, is you have a double petal, right? So if you want to put like a little indent into that little petal, let me grab a toothpick. You could basically do this right in the center of that, and you could add just a little bit of translucent right there, and it would give you, you know, kind of like a little heart shape. I'm not going to do that because I'm afraid. I'm really afraid. I don't know how well this is even. I'm sure it's pretty even. It would look good, but I'm just going to make this a round flower. So I just put the translucent around each of the petal, and then we're going to go ahead and get this to go around it. And I'm just doing this at a 2. I haven't decided whether I want to go thicker or not. But today I'm going to order some Cernet, just the translucent, maybe some metallic colors. I haven't decided yet. Just because their translucent seems to be a little bit whiter compared to everything else from what I've been told. I've used it a few times. I didn't really notice much of a difference. But, I don't know where I got that brown from right there. I'm going to go ahead and order it and try it again. Okay, and I'm going to add a little strip right there. If you can see, it's a little short. Because you know me, I don't really watch what I'm doing half of the time. And I'm not really concerned about the ends, just because of the fact that they're going to be cut off anyways. I usually like to put a number 1 or a 0 around my flowers. So this is a little thinner than I normally go. Alright, let's cut all this off. And I'll let you know if I think I need to put a little more translucent. I think we're good on that. I'm just going to leave it just like that. Okay, so one more time to pause, and we are going to go reduce this. I'm going to make sure that all the petals seem to be matching. And it looks like they're in there well. So we're going to reduce this and we'll be back. Alrighty, so it's time for our reveal. And I lost my blade, and I don't know where that quickly. So I'm going to cut this off. Put right there. I'm not going to look yet. I'll go a little longer. Let's see if we can get 5 cuts out of this. I use them small anyways, so. Alright. I think we're good about right there. Alright, 2 inches will give us about 5 cuts. Alrighty, you ready for the reveal? Let's put this down a little closer. Ta-da! So there's our pretty little double-decker flowers for y'all. I like those. And I'm glad I went to a 2, because that's still a lot of translucent around it. But, again, so if you wanted to curve these a little bit, you just need to stick a little bit of translucent, or before you cut it, you know, all you have to do is just come in here if you wanted to. And put just a little mark around the flowers and around that center. So just remember, you can always manipulate it even after it's already done. So that is our flower for today. So I hope you guys like that, and we will hopefully talk to you sometime this week. When does he go back to work? He goes back to work Sunday. My son's coming into town Thursday, so we'll probably have another video on Sunday. So I hope you guys like that. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Before I quit, I'm going to come back and show you a couple new cutters that we have. I'm going to try and make this quick, and hopefully I have enough clay to do both of these. But anyways, I got this little fancy dancy little Greek roller here. These I made, but this is not my design. There's a guy that sells them, and so I bought some because they're pretty cool, and it saves me a lot on design. So we're going to do 2 here. Okay, so this is our new shape. So you could either use them without that centerpiece, or you can come in here on the bottom and cut it, which is what I do. This is really thin as well. Okay, so you can just make a regular cool design like that, or I try and make a couple extra, and these can hang off of them. Okay, so you can do that, or you can go smaller size if you want smaller ones hanging, but I thought those looked really cool. Okay, or you could just take this piece and put it on top like that, hang it like that, or you can just get rid of this altogether. So just want to show you those. These are already up. I don't have a number, but it's an arch. I think it's going to be called an arch number 1. I think it's going to be in the 600, so it's going to be in our new section. I'll try and get a number and put it on the video. And this one I haven't put up yet today, but I will put this up as well. Got a couple more rollers I want to test out today. So again, we'll talk to you a little later. Bye.